These videos are educational in nature and meant to help 21 and over adult smokers switch to a healthier alternative. Welcome back to the channel, folks. I am Matt. Hope you're all doing well. Today, we're going to check out the Feelin A1 from Nevox. Yes, the most popular Nevox series, the Feelin, now has a new flagship product, which is what they're calling this. This thing is made for restricted direct lung hits and mouth to lung. They also already have like 5 pods out for this, so they're definitely supporting this device. Let's go ahead and dive into it. So inside, you will of course have the device. You'll then get 2 pods, a micro USB cable, and then this little card here that gives you tips on using the pods, and of course, a user manual. All right, so here is your device. Built-in 1000 milliamp hour battery, made out of aluminum, says Nevox right there, fire button right here, different texture right there, little window right there. Kind of looks like some of the Caliburns, definitely, but obviously a bit different because you got airflow control back here, which you can have wide open or close way down. It says Feelin A1 right there. Nothing on the bottom except for some writing, and your USB-C port is right there. There's what the inside of the device looks like. You got contacts, magnets, and a draw activation tube. And here are your pods. Now, they say that the 0.4 ohm is for DTL, the 0.6 ohm is for RDL, restricted direct lung hit. Both of them I would call a restricted direct lung hit. You could potentially use the 0.6 ohm for mouth to lung, but honestly, for mouth to lung, I think the 0.8 ohm that is purchased separately is probably my favorite bet. You know, it's 0.8 ohms. This one's only 2 mLs. These pods are 3 mLs, but the mouthpiece on this is definitely quite a bit more conducive for mouth to lung just because it's not as wide that way. But again, these are a separate purchase. They have a 0.8 ohm and a 1.2 ohm in this style, which is top fill. You open up that plug right there, fill it up, and these hold 2 mLs as opposed to 3 mLs. So it would have been nice if they included maybe the 0.8 ohm and then the 0.4 ohm. But let's check out these two that you do get. Here is your 0.6. It is a side fill port. There's what the bottom looks like. They said these are leak resistant because of the path the airflow takes to get to your coil. And there's your mouthpiece. It's still not huge. You know, you could MTL with this mouthpiece. I just think the 0.8 ohms are even better for mouth to lung. So let's go ahead and open up our fill port here if I can get my nail under it. There we go. About a medium fill port as far as thickness, robustness goes. Definitely not the thinnest, but definitely not the thickest. And so with these 2 pods, because I'm going to be using them in direct lung or restricted direct lung, I'm going to use a lower milligram e-liquid. This is Ink Lord's apple juice, and it's in 3 milligram. I think even with this 0.6 ohm or even the 0.4 ohm, you could use 6 milligram as well, but I don't have any more 6. I need to buy some. So let's go ahead and fill it on up. Like I said, 3 mLs. When done, just close the port up like so. And when it's a fresh pod like this, you want to let it sit 3 to 5 minutes so that wicking can get saturated. You can speed it along by putting 1 or 2 drops down the center, but don't be shocked if your first couple of vapes are slightly gurgly. Here is your 0.4 ohm. Also a vertical mesh, still can't see down inside. And I'm going to fill this one up with Ink Lord's Blackberry Custard. I like the koi fish and all that stuff that they got going. Well, that one's more of a dragon, isn't it? Koi fish is right there. Funny story, I have a koi fish tattoo on my arm that I started about 12 years ago and still haven't gotten all the color done. That's what happens with tattoos. Sometimes you just start it and you don't finish it. I will someday. All right, so we're filling the 0.4 ohm up now. And let's close the port up like so. Wipe any excess liquid off if you accidentally overfill like I am prone to. And then let's go ahead and install a pod. You can see you have a liquid window on that one side. Let's turn it on, 5 clicks. Got a little light indicator right there. And that light will go from green to blue to red depending on where your battery is at. Let's click the button 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Red, 1, 2, 3. Blue, 1, 2, 3. Green. Now, the green is your highest, that is 3.6 volts, blue is 3.4 volts, and the red is 3.2 volts. So this does have adjustable voltage. With the 0.4 ohm, you can get up to 30 watts on the highest setting. And that's basically it. Only thing I wish I had that it doesn't is a way to disable this button so you can just use it in auto draw mode, but the button is pretty stiff, but there's no like button configurations, 1, 2, that turn that button off, or 1, 2, 3, 4. That doesn't do anything to turn the button off either. So couldn't find any way to disable that. But besides that, there it is in the hand. What it feels like is like a longer Caliburn A2 or something like that. If you know, it is a bigger battery device, 1000 milliamp hours. Let's check it out next to the Cross 3, which is also 1000 milliamp hours. You can see there the Cross 3 is wider this way, but the Nevox here, the A1, Filan A1, is a little bit taller than that. There they are from the bottom there. All right, guys, that is it for the up close. Let's go ahead and go up top, vape this, and talk about it a little more. All right, so here's the Nevox Filan A1. This is the, let me make sure, 0.6 ohm pod. I have 3 milligram in here. My airflow is all the way open on the back, and I have it on the green setting, which is the highest. So I'm getting 3.6 volts. Let's have a vape, direct lung. A medium to tight restricted lung hit, more on the tighter end of restricted lung hit, but I definitely don't think that this pod would be the best for mouth to lung. I think you could do it, the 0.6 ohm here. Maybe, but I think the inner diameter of that coil is so wide that it just isn't that great for mouth to lung. It's better for a restricted direct lung hit. Let me close the air all the way down. You get it really tight then. Just a hair open. Yeah, I mean, not bad for mouth to lung, but again, because they have multiple different pods in this system already, they have like 5 different pods, I think your 0.8 ohm here is better for mouth to lung. This one's great for a nice, tight, restricted direct lung hit, and it's about a medium warmth, even the 0.6 ohm. I expected it to be cooler than that. So let's put the 0.8 ohm in here, which is a separate purchase, remember, but I'm gonna open my airflow just a tad and try to get that medium MTL draw that I like. Yeah, just a little bit tighter. Here we go. Very, very good. Flavor is spot on. A nice warm vape. 0 break-in time. The coils in these pods are fantastic. And that's something we've seen from Nevox for a while now. That's why they've been kind of one of those dark horses that's slowly be getting more and more popular because their pods are freaking good. All the devices in the Filan series have been fantastic. So let's move on to the heavy hitter, the 0.4 ohm. And I'm gonna open the airflow all the way open. I have it on the green setting still, so I'm getting about 30 watts, they say, with the 0.4 ohm, 3 milligram inside here. Here we go. And that's, you get a lot of vapor from that. I would call that a medium restricted lung hit. You know, slightly on the tighter end, but it's a little looser than the 0.6 ohm. So none of these are just full blown wide open like a mesh sub-ohm tank or something. But if you like a medium restricted lung hit, really good flavor and still a good amount of vapor, it's a nice vape. Auto draw works great with all these pods too. Even the direct lung ones, I just auto drawed it there, and you saw I got a lot of vapor. Great flavor on all of these. So let's talk pros and cons. Cons first. Only have a few. First off, I really think that in the final packaging, maybe they'll do this, I don't know, that they should include one of these MTL pods. I would suggest the 0.8, but that's just me. But they should include one of these MTL pods and one of the direct lung pods. So I would go 0.4 ohm, 0.8 ohm in the package as opposed to 0.4 ohm and 0.6 ohm. It's not that the 0.6 ohm is bad, but they're fairly similar. Yeah, the 0.4 ohm is a little bit warmer, but not a bunch. It has a little more airflow, but not a bunch. They're both a fairly similar vape. So, you know, that's one thing that I think is a missed opportunity. Put one MTL pod in, you know, and people can see the different mouthpiece shape that's great for mouth to lung, and one direct lung pod in. Now, as far as any other cons go, I wish there was a way to disable the fire button, you know, and turn that off and still be able to use it in auto draw mode. Couldn't find any way to do that. If you turn it off with 5 clicks, it turns everything off. Okay, so now it's all the way off. Let's try to auto draw it. Doesn't work. Just air, unfortunately. So that's one other thing I would have liked to have seen with this device. Besides that, it's all good. These pods give a great vape. The airflow control system works really well too. You can really fine tune it. You can get a nice tight draw if that's what you want, or that medium restricted lung hit wide open with the lower ohm pods, like I said. Build quality is nice. Like I said, it feels like a larger Caliburn, a longer Caliburn, if that makes sense. Definitely still pocketable, still discreet, but a good sized battery for a pod system like this, 1000 milliamp hours. Now, keep in mind with these lower ohm pods, especially the 0.4 ohm, this is not going to be an all day device without charging it. If you're chain vaping 0.4 ohm, you are not going to get through a whole day just on this battery. You're going to have to charge it. Now with the 0.8 ohm or the 1.2 ohm and you're using it in mouth to lung, then you might get through a whole day with one battery. So just keep that in mind. It's a good device for those folks that want a direct lung hit when they're out and about, but they also maybe have another device when they come home, or they have multiple devices, one on the charger always, or whatever. But I just wanted to make that clear that, when you're using 30 watts on a 1000 milliamp hour device like this, you're probably not getting through a whole day. Great vape. I like the assortment of pods that they have. Build quality is really nice. I just wish I could disable the button, and I wish the device came with the 0.8 ohm and the 0.4 ohm. Oh, I forgot to turn this back on. Let's redo that. Yeah, very flavorful and pretty warm with the 0.4 ohm on that high setting as well. So very nice job, Nevox. This is definitely a system I'm going to continue to use. A lot of times I'll say, oh, I'm only going to use this in MTL, or I'm only going to use this in direct lung. I like it both ways. If I want something small and discreet where I could just take a few direct lung hits here and there when I want to, then I'll go with these lower ohm pods. But the 0.8 ohm MTL pods are fantastic as well. And let's vape that one more time. Very, very good. So I hope this review is helpful for all of you out there. That about wraps it up. Until next time, thanks for watching.